So basically, this is an intelligent system to gamify mental health education and dissociative identity disorder awareness using artificial intelligence. And this game is called Echoes Within. Oh, my computer's loading. Give it a second.
It's okay. Take it easy.
Okay, this is awkward. Okay, oh, okay. Quickly about me, my name is Fairy and also go by Ran. I was born in Shanghai, China, and in grade 6, I moved to Toronto, Canada with my mom and sister. I am really interested in psychology and neuroscience, so I've also done some other activities around this topic, but I'm really honored today to share my project, Echoes Within. This app kind of contains three big parts. First, about dissociative identity disorder. Second, a music playlist. And third, an AI chat box. Dissociative identity disorder, or frequently abbreviated as DID, and once referred to as MPD, multiple personality disorder, is an uncommon yet sensationalized and misunderstood mental health. According to the Cleveland Clinic, dissociative identity is a rare mental health condition involving the perception of several personalities in one's subconscious that can control a patient and frequently switch between one another. Dissociative identity disorder is generally believed to be caused by repressed and untreated traumatic events in a person's life and manifests itself as coping mechanism. These separated identities are called œaltersâ and can appear to have their own separated identities, memories, and behaviors. DID frequently can cause feelings of confusion, frustration, and amnesia within patients. And this disease is quite rare. Only 1.5% of the population within the United States suffer from it. Oh my God, my slide is not loading. Okay. But even so, its depiction within popular media as a part of um popular consensus is problematic. Most depictions of dissociative identity disorder within pop culture are inaccurate and have long portrayed the association between DID and psychotic behavior. The film Sybil, for example, claims to depict a realistic representation of DID, though through its main character, Shirley Mason, only for it to be revealed in real life that Shirley Mason's DID was completely falsified for media attention. Even in the modern day, this issue perpetuates itself. In the movie Split, the main character, Kevin, has DID with 23 different personalities, or the secret 24th personality named the Beast, with a violent psychotic disorder and superhuman strength, a clear use of DID for sensationalism. A lot of people also believe that people with DID are violent and dangerous and that therapy erases these alters permanently, but this is not true because the alters does not go away, but therapy allows it to live kind of together. We propose, oh, yeah, and then this role in the game is basically kind of like a game-based approach. So we propose that in order to successfully educate the public about the nature of DID, we will make a game that highlights the true nature of the disorder. So this is like an interactive game and will allow players to understand the perspective of those suffering from DID by playing a character who actually has this disease. And they must navigate their daily life with their conditions and understands how alters affect one's perception of reality. We propose that in order to successfully, oh, yeah, and then the core is like of a dialogue system in this game utilizes a node-based framework. This makes it easy to have branching pathways as the story of the game can be represented simply as a graph. All gameplay interactions can thus be represented as a node event, which has at least one child node, representing a choice the player can make. The code above shows a few functions that are invoked as a player continues to go down the story. Start node invoke a function within the user's current node or their current story event, which will bring up UI elements, show dialogue, and present other auditory or visual information. When the user selects an option, the function start next node will be involved and the cycle will repeat itself as the user moves their way down the node graph. When the user reaches the bottom and there are no children left to visit, the user is considered to have reached the ending of the story. Sorry, my computer is being really slow today. Okay. Secondly, there exists a separated AI chat box companion in the game. This allows the players to ask questions about DID that the narrative game itself. Oh my God. Okay. This that the about the ID that the narrative game itself did not address. This chat box is not designed to be like a casual conversation tool, like how ChatGPT is utilized in other apps and programs, but instead to be a simple question answering tool so that users do not depend on it for therapeutic or counseling services. It also reinforces the fact that the visual novel portion is the main draw to the game, and that the AI chat box is simply a way to enhance a user's knowledge. The addition of the AI chat box will also allow users to get direct answers about preconceptions about DID, further promote understanding and breaking down harmful stereotypes. The Unity scene utilizes a layout of UI components that form a typical chat box UI framework. A user is able to answer their request through a text box at the bottom named a text mesh pro UGUI component. A submit button allows the users to submit their request, and it invokes the given section of code. This program utilizes the OpenAI library in order to request services from the ChatGPT API. The model is fed two items, the user's request and also a system prompt, which instructs a ChatGPT model with context and information so that it can serve the needs of the user. The system prompt in its program lets the model know that it must respond to questions about DID while not attempting to validate existing claims or act as a therapist. Users' requests are not held in memory. This is done in order to ensure that the model's context window is not affected by repeated requests, and that the model acts strictly as a question and answer system, not as a fully fledged chat box. Although the core part of the gameplay loop Although not the core part of the gameplay loop, the AI features the program is one of the most important portions to get right. Otherwise, the program's usefulness as an education tool is greatly diminished. Thus, the model must be judged on its information accuracy. In order to properly test the accuracy of the AI at properly answering the questions, we devised 15 questions. Each of these questions is a core fundamental question about DID that we deem as imperative to answer correctly and tactfully. We will ask the AI in the program each question, after which the response will be recorded. The quality of the response will be rated from a scale from 1 to 5. Specifically, the following criteria will factor into the rating: providing actual and factual information, correct common misconceptions about DID, suggest users visit professional organizations like the ISST-D, -D and crisis hotlines, avoids acting as a personal therapist, The average score for each question was about 4.6 out of 5, which indicates a pretty good level of baseline accuracy to the model's responses. The model gave detailed but not overly long responses and made sure to clarify several times about how not to fall into preconceived notions or misconceptions, particularly with how to spot DID within individuals and how to act with DID. The lowest score was given to the question, is DID a rare condition, which we found not to be entirely accurate and would have benefited from the use of a citation. However, most other scores were found generally accurate. The model did not speak in an overly didactic or verbose tone, although in some circumstances the model tended to over-suggest the use of professional. We can thus conclude that at least when it comes to baseline accuracy, the AI model is capable as a question and answer tool. Mm, it's loading. Music therapy. Music therapy is a form of therapy that uses music to support mental health and physical well-being. Through activities such as listening to music, singing, playing instruments, or writing songs, individuals can express feelings that are often difficult to communicate with the world. Guided by certified music therapists, this process helps reduce stress, improves mood, and strengthens self-awareness and communication skills. Music therapy is often used to support people dealing with mental health challenges, trauma, or medical conditions, but it can also help anyone seeking emotional healing and personal growth through the power of song and rhythm. This program uses a simple audio management framework in order to play music. While the game playing and in the main menu, a set of audio tracks will play, each of which being a carefully selected piece of music that will calm the user down and relax. The code above is what will be invoked when the game starts and is part of the music manager component. When the music starts, the music manager component will create an audio source component if one does not exist, after which the initialize shuffle function will be invoked, which will let the audio player to randomize its music selection. After this, the audio player will be told to start playing music through the play current track function. There are also buttons set up in the user interface menus throughout the game that allow the player to skip or rewind to a previous song that also invokes the music manager component. Okay. Some of the challenges, AI chatbots guardrails for accurate DID education. One major component of this program would be the integration of a generative AI chatbox. Using an AI chatbox in order to answer questions about DID to players may be beneficial and educational, but if incorrectly, it can easily lead to misinformation and confusion. So it is really critical that the system prompt utilized within the application introduces guardrails for the large language model, or LLM, that avoids it from several issues that commonly plague AI systems. For example, it is critical that the AI must not hallucinate, as it would provide wrong information. It must also not stray from its mission of being mainly a DID educational source. It is imperative that the AI does not act or is coerced into action like a therapist, or in some way validate someone's delusions. For instance, if someone who had DID tried to convince the model that their alters were real. Secondly, the authentic turn-based dialogue design. Another major component of this program would be turn-based dialogue options for the game itself. The game framework or architecture is important from a game design standpoint. The game cannot be frustrating as it would drive users away and ultimately undermine the game's purpose as an awareness mechanism. At the same time, the game cannot lean too hard into traditional game elements, such as a score system. Gamifying the experience too much can make the game appear inauthentic in its mission and also encourages users to treat the game as just a game, not an educational tool. Lastly, calm and authentic game presentation. It is lastly important not that the game's presentation, not just its design, is properly executed as well. Failure to frame the game correctly using audio and aesthetic cues can lead to users not taking the game seriously or making the game appear inauthentic. To mitigate this, we believe that it is important for the game to create a calming, welcoming atmosphere with soft colors to invite people to relax. It is critical that the game at no point attempts to dramatize DID with the use of provocative, violent, or overdramatic imagery or audio cues. Executing this concept correctly involves careful consideration and thinking. Future directions, I hope to create more engaging and meaningful storylines that connects more deeply with the people's emotions. I also wish to explore the development of AI to make these experiences more interactive, and if possible, I wish to incorporate music pieces created by patients, allowing their emotions and story to shape the therapy process. And by combining technology, creativity, and human expression, I aim to build a safer community where healing feels both personal and empowering. Thank you.